Welcome. Here are 3 mobility movements, one for the upper body, one for the trunk, and one for the lower body. Now, for the upper body, we're going to start off with arm circles. Arm circles can be performed standing up or lying down. We're going to start off lying down. Lying down onto your backs, take a second to just fully relax into the mat. So this is where I would recommend starting off if you're not too sure what kind of range of movement you have in your shoulders. Okay, arms are lengthened at your sides and you're as relaxed into that floor as possible. You're simply going to reach the hands away from you and up towards the ceiling. Continue them behind the head and then circle them all the way back down to the hips. So you are creating arm circles. Now, as you can see, my arms trail on the floor. Yours might not be doing that. You might get to about here and feel like that is where you need to come around to the side. All I want you to focus on is really reaching away from your body at all times. That's going to help you find just a little bit more space within that shoulder joint, reaching away from you at all times. Once you've done a few in one direction, you are then going to reverse it. Okay, really important to do both directions all the way up, still focusing on reaching away from you as much as possible. Where you struggle with range of movement, you might find that the arm itself wants to shorten and we lose the energy through the limbs. In order to really increase and work into our mobility, we have to really keep the limbs energized up and around and down. Let's go for one more in this direction and coming in. Fantastic. From there, you're going to sit up and you can either be sitting onto your knees or you can be standing for this. And you're going to repeat the same thing. So arms coming from down at the sides, forward, up, and as far behind to the side as possible. So when you're standing up, you have a little bit more movement, okay, because you're not restricted by the floor. So you can go slightly behind the body. However, you want to ensure that by increasing that circle, you're not straining through the neck, okay? Make sure that the neck and the face remain completely relaxed. And don't forget to go the other way, all the way to the back, swooping up and forward. Lots of length and energy through those arms, continuously reaching away from you to keep the limbs long and keep space in that shoulder joint. 2 more. Last one. And relax. Fantastic. We're now going to take you into full body mobility. And my favorite movement for full body mobility is the thread the needle. So the thread the needle starts on your hands and knees. And for the purpose of this, we're going to extend one leg out behind you, okay? So that leg comes out behind you and it's just going to give us a little bit more space. If you're struggling for balance, take it wider to make sure you're totally supported, okay? Now, my left leg is out, which means I'm going to use my right hand. My right hand is going to reach up to the sky and I'm rotating that chest as much as possible. I'm then going to thread it through and allow my head and shoulder to come and rest onto the floor. Breathing into this position for a second. And repeat. Coming up, rotating up, looking into the ceiling. And coming all the way through, ear down to the floor. One more time on this side, we reach all the way up. Keeping that back foot anchored, keeping this front arm pressed down into the floor. Wrapping it through. And now we're going to change over. So I come back to the start, swap those legs. Other leg goes out. We're now going to use the other hand. You want to make sure that you really rotate that chest up, looking into this top hand. There's energy through my arms as I'm reaching up, and I'm controlling it as I wrap all the way through. And again, coming up, controlling the movement, stabilizing with your back leg and your bottom arm, and through. And last one, all the way up, and through. And coming in. Finally, let's look at some knee movements to really get into the hips. So we're going to sit down to this one, and you're going to have your feet out in front of you. Your hands are behind you. They're as close to you as what you are comfortable, okay? The feet are wide. The wider, the better to begin with. From here, I'm going to be dropping both my knees to the right-hand side, and then I'm going to take them over to the left. Now, the goal here at first is just to see where do my legs go to automatically. Without putting too much pressure, where do they fall to, okay? And you want to then try and figure out, is one side tighter than the other? Is one direction tighter than the other? And you just want to really learn these things about your body. It's important to know what we're working with. Let's go for 2 more. And last one. So once you've done a few, you'll have a better idea of how this movement feels on the body. Now, to increase it, you're going to bring the hands closer to the bum so that the chest is more open, and you're going to make sure that the feet stay where they are. If you were fine with the first version, then you continue with that for your second 8. So now I'm going to go over. The angles are a little bit sharper in my legs, which means I'm feeling a little bit more mobility in my hips. And now I'm thinking of actively lifting this knee up first and then coming over. Okay, so I'm driving or leading the movement with this top knee pressing up and over. So not only is it a passive stretch now, we are actively moving through this range of movement. Okay, and because I've warmed the joints up a little bit, I'm now in a tighter stretch, or I'm hopefully just feeling a little bit better in my existing range. I'm gonna go for 2 more. Last one, coming into the center and relax.